Hello, we're back with a new Q&A. We're still Carlos and Arne, and today I am going to read the questions and probably get some of the names really wrong, but
we'll try our best.
I try my best. So
we start.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I hope I get good questions.
Yeah, let me see. Then I do. Okay, this is the first one. Is from you. It's from Wendy Rios.
Wendy Rios.
And she wondered, how many languages do you speak?
How many languages I speak?
Yes.
Okay, so before I tell you that, I'll just go very quickly through my background. I have a Spanish mother, a Swedish father. My father was working abroad for many, many years, and we had the privilege to live in many different parts of the world. And so I was brought up with many different languages. I spoke 3 languages when I was 6 years old. My first language was Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, because I was born in Brazil and my parents chose to speak Portuguese with me. And that became my kind of mother language. Then we moved to Venezuela in northern South America, which is a Spanish-speaking country. And my mother started speaking Spanish with me. And at that time, I was also put in an American school, so I learned to speak English as well. So by the time I was 6, I could speak Portuguese, English, and Spanish. And after that, I've learned a few more languages because I've lived in other parts of the world. So
this will go on forever.
Yeah, no. So in addition to speaking Portuguese, Spanish, and English, I obviously speak Scandinavian languages. I speak Swedish and Norwegian, but like in a mash. So it counts as one language.
You write really good Norwegian.
But I do write Norwegian, yes. So Norwegian and Swedish, we add those. So we've got 5. I speak fluent French. And I speak Mandarin Chinese. So that means I speak 7 languages.
And when we are in Japan, you can read menus if there's some Chinese characters.
Yeah, I can read a Japanese menu because I can read Chinese characters, but I don't necessarily understand.
And in Italy, you understand everything, but you don't speak it.
I don't speak much Italian.
No, but you understand everything.
And currently, because languages are, something that if you don't use that much, you lose them or you forget. So at the moment, I would say that my Portuguese or my Brazilian Portuguese and my Mandarin Chinese are pretty rusty. I don't speak them as well as I did at one point. I still do understand everything. And I do speak very well English, Spanish, Scandinavian and French, because those are the languages I use the most.
But you also speak different Spanish. Like when we go to Spain, you speak Spanish. And
my mother's Spanish.
And when we go to Peru, you have another dialect.
Yeah.
And we've been a lot in Mexico, and then I can hear that your Spanish is changing.
Yeah, but that's because I speak so many languages. I have this ability to kind of adapt, and I kind of get the tone. So when I meet somebody who speaks in a certain way, I do tend, it's kind of contagious. I get that
Argentina,
tone.
That was Spanish.
I spoke, But
Argentina different.
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 So 7-ish languages, but I'd say 5 of them that are pretty okay, and then 2 that are quite rusty right now. So that answers that question.
Yeah. Next, it's from Cindy Chen. And she says, what inspires you right now?
What inspires us right now? I'd like to say the garden, always.
Always the garden.
Even now.
But right now.
The garden is covered in snow, so it's not as inspiring, but the landscape. I think the Norwegian landscape is beautiful and very inspiring. What inspires you?
Exactly now.
Right now.
Right now. I have to think. What are we working on? It's the garden. It's the garden, actually.
The garden. It's always the garden.
Even in winter.
Even in winter.
You bring out the books from summer with summer pictures. I think it's the garden right now.
Yeah. Let's say that.
Yeah. Okay. And Judy Carlson Layton. She says, when did you both realize you wanted to knit?
Okay,
She's
so...
63 and just started. That's
Oh,
cool.
wow. Congratulations. You're never too old to start anything. So good for you. And we're hoping that you really enjoy the craft of knitting because it's so relaxing and so much fun.
She does.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
When did you?
Yeah,
Realize.
I mean, I saw my mom doing it with her friends at the club in South America, and I wanted to do it then, and I kept doing these little bracelets, but those were not actually knitted.
No, that was
Like macrame and stuff. But I've always wanted to do handwork, like crafts, and then of course as a kid you lose interest after a while, and then you know, or there's pressure because your friends don't do it, things like that. So I kind of stopped for a very long time, and then I realized I wanted to learn how to knit again when we were working as knitwear designers in the fashion industry, because I was doing all the work with all the technical work was my job. Arne was doing a lot of the other stuff, but I was actually getting it produced, and I wanted to learn how to knit a garment from scratch. Because it's quite different to knit it by hand compared to knitting it industrially in a knitting machine that is electronical. So I went to Arne and I said, show me. And I got the interest then. That's me. And now your story?
I don't remember when I started, but I never stopped. So actually I stopped for like a few weeks when around confirmation.
Yeah, like when you were 15.
15, because then I was thinking maybe I should be like all the other boys, go and play football or whatever, but it went over.
So you quit knitting like people quit smoking?
Yeah.
And how long did it last?
Like a week or something.
week.
And it was so boring.
And then you had a relapse and you went back to knitting.
I went back to knitting. So I didn't, I never stopped. You should stop.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, so that answers that
actually,
question.
my grandmother said it's only lazy people sit with their hands in the lap without doing anything.
Oops.
But now we're talking.
Oh yeah, okay, so that doesn't count.
And I didn't want to be lazy. So that's why I always had knitting or crocheting or something. So, yeah. Next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tricia...
No, it's this one here.
No, it's that one. Cindy Chen. Oh, go.
Go away.
Cindy Chen says, could you please tell us what your biggest challenge in designing right now?
Biggest challenge in designing. Oh yeah, we've been working on something.
That's hard. That's the biggest.
We've been working on something. It's actually for Peyton's yarn in the UK, for the yarn brand Peyton's.
Should we say it? Maybe it doesn't happen.
No. We're just going to say that they gave us a brief and they said, do some fun projects in crochet. And there was a point when those fun projects, we felt like they were killing us. They were not fun anymore. So, and it's because sometimes you have your mind set on something that you want to do, and then when you're doing it, it doesn't work, and you can see that it's not going to be working, and then you need to get to the point where you say, okay, it's gone. I kill it now, and I'm putting it away, and I'm doing something else because this is not working. And sometimes with us, it can take quite some time. We keep developing something and developing, and then after we've been doing it for 3 or 4 days or a week, we realize it doesn't work. And, it kind of takes a little bit away of the...
But if you put it away and then take it out again, and then sometimes things happen, and suddenly you see things in a new way, and you have like these small things. When they finish, they look so simple.
Yeah.
But it can take forever to make it, because...
Yeah. So right now, the fun projects that are not that much fun are a design challenge. We've actually set them aside because we're working on some other big projects right now. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do, Arne. We're just going to finish the big projects we're working on, and then we'll go back to the fun projects. Hopefully they'll be more fun.
And hopefully if you see this video in a year or something, maybe the fun projects are out there.
And are fun.
Already.
Yeah.
And fun. You never know. But there's always challenges with design work. So, next. Tricia McIntosh.
Yeah.
She says, what is your favorite project to knit?
I've got 2 that I really like and that I never get tired of, and I think are really great projects to do when I am in public. For example, if we are at a book signing, and you get to sit at a table in a bookstore and you're supposed to sign books for an hour. Nobody comes. Suddenly there's an old lady coming, a customer asking me if I can direct her to the toilets. And you know that it's a boring book signing. I always bring a Christmas ball to knit or a sock with our own yarn. Those are two things that you can kind of do automatically. Very, very easy and kind of my favorite things to do at the time. How about you?
I'm into the intarsia knitting because we made this sweater for our publisher in France. It's called intarsia when you knit back and forth with color work.
Yeah.
And that is so funny. So I have these fun things I'm working on right now, but I don't have time because I have these other fun things. All these other projects.
The other fun projects.
You're not reading, because you can't read and talk at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I lose focus.
I'm reading.
Okay, so let's go to the next question.
Did we answer this one?
Yeah.
This is from, how do you say that?
Belanger, maybe.
Belanger. Carlos, love the porridge. Made it the other day and wow.
Yummy.
My question is there was an old lantern on the shelf behind you in the video. Can you tell us about that? It's cool.
Okay, so they're referring to the video where we ask people to pose questions. We're standing outside in the veranda. We've got that shelf made out of a sled.
And there was a lamp.
And on the sled, there's an oil lamp, which I am thinking it either comes from your
farm,
my
family, from my farm,
or we got it in a second-hand store. So
that is from the farm.
It's from the farm.
It's we call it fjøslykt.
Oh, it's a barn lantern.
A barn lantern.
The one that you take to go to the barn. Probably you did that in the old days.
Yes.
That's the one you took. When you didn't have flashlights with batteries.
When we stayed up in the mountains, we didn't have any electricity. So then we could use the barn lantern.
So did it run on oil or did you just put a candle in?
No, it's oil and this piece of fabric. So you have to fill it with oil and then you walk with it.
Yeah.
But the glass is broken.
Yeah.
So we just have the frame now.
Yeah.
Are you still reading my question?
I'm sorry.
This is... You want to read the question?
No, you read.
Because he's better. You're horrible.
I know. I'm going to keep focus. And
I agree with down here.
I have to say, I agree with Cool Belanger that it's a very cool lamp.
It's a very nice lamp.
Okay, so next question.
Oh, where am I?
I'm just trying to make sure you do
But sometimes I need help because this is Kurisu Ronan.
Okay.
That sounds Japanese.
Kurisu? Ronan. Maybe Japanese married to...
Yes, okay. Which colors inspire you the most when you are knitting? Do you have any funny stories from your travels around the world? Your sweaters are gorgeous.
Thank you for the lovely comment on our sweaters.
Thank you.
I'll tell the funny story from abroad.
Okay.
Shall we do that? So...
I think we answered the other one. What?
The colors? Yeah.
No, the inspiration, the color.
Yeah, bright colors. I love reds, I love oranges, blues, greens. And I love mixing a lot of strong colors. And you are kind of the same.
There's one thing. When we go to Japan, you go into these stores with candies, and these boxes with the teddy bears and things, and you can put on a coin and you can pick something.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That is inspiring. And we were kicked out once because we took a picture.
Yeah, but everything in Japan is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of inspiration.
They do beauty like no one else. But anyway, the funny story from abroad. And I'm going to tell it because I tell it better.
Okay.
Okay. So very quickly, 2011 was the year when our Christmas ball book was launched internationally. It came to Norway in 2010. Big success. We had no idea what to expect abroad. So in 2011, we got invited to go to all these countries to promote the book. We arrived in Holland, and because Dutch people are lovely people, but they are very direct in a way that we are not in Scandinavia. We're more shy, and the Dutch people, they're not shy at all. We love it.
I like it because then you know where you got.
Yeah. But the thing was, we weren't expecting that the book had become such a big success, And we weren't expecting all these people to come to all the events and, being super nice, but being, very direct about it and talking to us and everything. So we were feeling very shy. And then we were invited to do this talk show. The talk show is from a very popular host called Paul de Leeuw. I think his name is in Dutch, which translates as Paul the Lion, I guess. Like his last name, de Leeuw.
We got his mugs, his coffee mugs with the lion on. I think that was the logo.
This is the biggest show in the Netherlands, I suppose in Belgium too. I think it's got millions of viewers. And we're in the show being interviewed by the talk host, who is a little bit, like crazy, hoo-hoo, funny kind of, and we didn't.
It was funny,
and it was kind of funny. They made this whole set. There was this set with like a Norwegian cabin. There was a stuffed moose in there, and we were
a
fireplace, and we were sitting there knitting Christmas balls, and this thing rotated.
It's so like the cheese.
Yeah, it rotated.
Plate.
So when they introduced us, this whole thing came around, and there we are for 3 million Dutch viewers. That's how we made our entrance. Which, by the way, if you're gonna make an entrance, that's the entrance to make. So we do the interview, and
a lot of audience.
And then when the show finishes, they turn off the cameras. And what we didn't know was that everybody in the audience was a knitter, and they all had these knitting kits with Christmas balls and needles under their chairs. So suddenly we see all these women getting up with armed with their needles, running towards us. We have 2 or 3 security people who kind of grab us and take us out of there, and we don't know what's going on. This is the most rock and roll we've ever been. They removed us from there, and then all these Dutch women are running after us, and we were pretty shocked. Yeah. But it's a fun story to tell now.
I have another one, but I can't tell. It's so hard to tell it.
So let's not tell it.
Could you tell it?
Which one?
The one in the hotel in Paris. We stayed in this small hotel in Paris while we were in the fashion industry. And I was down in the reception waiting for you, and the cab was on the street waiting, and he's very tired in the morning. And I was sitting in the reception, and suddenly I hear this noise, and there's like something falling down from the stairs, and suddenly there's like bang, and the door opens, and there's a big suitcase coming out, and that was our suitcase. And then he came later, and he was like this, and then I saw he had like toothpaste around his chin, not much, but a little bit of toothpaste. And I said, "Carlos, you have toothpaste all over your face." And he's like, "Okay." And then he went to hand in the keys and things, and then he turned back and came towards me, and there was toothpaste all over, up in the air, everywhere.
Well,
that was funny for me, at least.
To my defense, it was 4 a.m, and I was very tired.
I think that's funny. I didn't hear you laughing.
No, okay. Let's go to the next question.
Okay. No.
I think this is too much information. But anyway, the Dutch story is a fun story. That's the most rock and roll we ever were, and I'm living on that story forever. And I have to say, Holland, we love you. Thank you so much for always receiving us in such a generous way. And we're now very used to the way they are I know direct. Dutch.
Ik hou van jou.
What does that mean?
Ik hou van jou. It's a song from Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, okay.
I think it means I love you or something. Oh. Die Male Mullen, Eurovision Song Contest questions. In the 70s or 80s. Okay, questions. Karen Lance.
Okay.
This is from Karen Lance. It says, which one of you is the most creative? In other words, which one of you comes up with the first new idea first?
Again, just as with colors, it depends on the project. The thing about being 2 is that you collaborate, so there's always a collaboration going on. We both come up with a lot of ideas, and then of course we're good at different things, so we're both developing ideas, but Arne is a really good researcher. So when
I have to make the physical drawings of stuff, and he has to sell it.
No, I don't sell it. You mean edit?
Edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have contact with people. He got the jobs.
But we do a lot of.
I don't do anything. I'm just in my mess.
Yeah. No, but I mean it's a difficult explanation. I mean it's really hard to explain because we work together as a team, and we do quite a lot together, and then we do quite a lot separated. and a lot of ideas. Sometimes we don't even know who came up with the idea.
No, sometimes that's really hard to tell.
Like, for example, Christmas balls, who came up with that idea? It's something that one says and then the other starts developing. I mean, Arne can do a lot of development work that I don't even know of until suddenly there's something there. Sometimes I do a lot of developing and then I tell Arne about the stuff that I'm working on. And sometimes we are very much, like when we get a brief from a client that we're designing for, we know because of the brief what we have to do, and then we just...
Or you're better, actually, than he tells me, because I think it's hard to understand.
It's something that we just do naturally, and
But it's always good to be two doing this job, because it's like you edit each other.
Yeah.
We had this saying, like in the fashion world, we said, kill your darlings.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't kill their darlings.
Yeah.
We do a lot of that.
Which means...
You have to edit.
It means that there's something that you might be really in love with, but it doesn't work.
No.
And if it doesn't work, you have to throw in the towel and get rid of it. And a lot of people, they love it so much that they don't. And then you have something really bad out there that you're still loving, and maybe you even understand why it shouldn't be there, but because you didn't kill it, it's there. And when we're two, it's easier
It's easy to edit each other, because you see it with different eyes. And
yeah. So let's go. That's a great answer. Let's go to the next question.
Where am I? Thomas Perkins. What hobbies, crafts have you always wanted to try but never got around to? That's a good one. I want to try oil painting.
Oh, I was going to say the same.
That's my dream. Maybe that's my next career. I can be a painter, artist.
Yeah. I was going to say the same. I love to do a lot of work with canvas and oil and aquarels. Actually, I've done a lot of aquarel painting.
You're good with aquarel.
I'm okay. But yeah, painting, definitely oil.
Yeah.
Big canvases with fabulous, ideas.
That's something I would like to do.
We'll probably do it when we're retired. We'll have more time.
Next. You're still reading.
Sorry.
Claire Brantley. She says...
I'm just helping you with the names.
Yeah. So I wonder, what are your favorite mistakes you've made in knitting? Something turned out differently than planned, but still lovely in the same way. Thanks.
Well, off the top of my head, I don't know. I do know that we do embrace our mistakes. Sometimes we do something and then it doesn't turn out the way we wanted it to, and then we're looking at it and then we're turning it around and we're thinking, hey, there is potential here. But at the top of my head, I can't really think of something right now that we might have done that...
No, I can't remember. But we do mistakes.
Of course we do. And everybody does.
Yeah, everybody does. No, I can't answer. I don't remember.
Don't remember, but for sure there have been.
For sure.
Definitely.
But maybe it hasn't happened in the knitting. It could happen in the design project.
Yeah, you know what? It could be a color combination that we've done. At one point you do a color combination,
which looks
and you look at it and you think like, oh my God, this is horrible. But then you leave it and then you look at it again a little bit later on and you start thinking, there is something interesting with this.
I think our mistakes happen more in the design projects.
Yeah.
Because if we knit something,
it's already done.
Yeah, or we just knit something. So it's like never something important if we knit something.
Something like that.
You really have problems not looking.
Next question.
Okay, next. Is that on the other side?
Yeah, there's two sides to everything.
Wolf. No, that's... Okay.
No.
No. I'm not good at this.
Oh, here it is.
But that's from Deborah Kraus. She says, Arne speaks very good English. Do you travel a lot or are you more homebodies? Thank you for that, because my English
is good.
It's horrible.
No, it's really good. And you're getting better every week.
When we go to the Midwest in America, people think it's nice because I speak like their uncles.
Yeah.
From Norway, I have the Fargo accent.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's like, Oh, it's a lot of snow outside today.
Yeah, well, you don't have to do the accent. You have it already.
I have the accent. I can do more of the accent.
So do we travel?
We travel more than we wish.
Well, actually, there's two kinds of traveling. We travel for work, and then we travel for pleasure, obviously. We like going on one big holiday every year to go and get reloading our batteries. We don't like beach holidays. We think that that's a waste of time. Lying on a beach, getting tanned is not.
I'm whiter when I come home.
Yeah, usually we're whiter when we come home because we're always all.
You have like the sunscreen. What's it called?
Suntan.
Sunscreen. Sorry. The screen like 60 or.
Yeah, and like, hats and everything.
And hats, and you behind the book.
Yeah, but we do travel to a lot of exciting places for pleasure. Last year we went to Argentina. The year before we were in Mexico. The year before we did the Inca Trail. The year before we went to Vietnam. There's always a
This year we've been in Venice.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of traveling for fun. We do a lot of traveling for work, which is different because...
Yeah, we've been in a lot of places and we haven't really seen the place.
See, you look at airports and hotel rooms and meet a lot of people. Those kind of journeys are very exhausting and tiresome. I think that when we are in those kinds of trips, all we want to do is go home. We're always, longing for our home. And then when we come home from one of those travels that are more business related, we're so happy to be here that we don't want to go anywhere. So we feel very homebodies. And then, of course, after 2 months at home, we want to go out again and travel.
Because you get a little bit stressed sometimes because you're used to all the traveling. So it's always nice to get out again.
So yeah. So again, just with other things that we've answered, it actually depends. If we've been traveling too much, we want to be homebodies. If we've been homebodies for too long, we definitely want to go travel somewhere fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wolf Graff.
Yes.
Says, hi Carlos, hi Arne. As a fellow knitter and lover of vintage, I have 2 questions for you both. Which are your top 3 flea markets you've been to? And question. Which top 3 are markets you have yet to see and are on your list to visit? Greetings. Oh, that's cool. Shares Wolf. Greetings from the land of the body,
The body of the oddies. What's that? Is that Australia?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it's Australia. Okay, so top three flea markets.
Flea market.
Okay, there's one in Mexico City.
That's great.
That I adore. There is one in Paris. I'm not thinking about
the Cliancourt?
Marché aux Puces de Saint-Ouen. I'm not thinking of that one. I'm thinking about the other one. The one in the Porte de Montreuil is really nice.
I like the one in Cliancourt as well.
Yeah, but it's so expensive now.
Yeah, but nice to look at. It's free to look.
It's always free to look, yeah.
And we like, what more? Which other flea markets?
I really enjoyed the one in Copenhagen, the one behind the...
that was good. That was it last summer? No, 2 years ago in Denmark. They have great flea markets.
Yeah,
and we were in Germany.
In Cologne.
Really good flea market really there. Good one.
And we went to one in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn flea markets are really good.
Those are very interesting, especially from us coming from Norway. It's always fun with the Brooklyn flea markets because you find these Norwegian things you haven't seen in Norway because they came with immigrants or maybe they made in America. It's like small souvenirs which we've never seen in Norway. So that is really cool.
And then of course the flea market in Lisbon, Ladra, Feria da Ladra.
That was
really good. Okay, so that's more than 3.
Yeah. But then you have countries, like you can go to France and there's like great flea markets everywhere.
England too.
And in England you have these
we have stores. We have a friend, she's a dealer. She does a lot of flea markets in France. And last summer we went to visit her and we went to the flea markets where she was selling stuff. That was a fun week
really good.
Of flea markets in the area near Bordeaux. It was really, really nice.
And then also Denmark is good for second-hand stores and antique stores and flea markets. So we have this plan maybe, if we have time this summer, we will take our
But let's go back to top 3. What would the top 3 be?
We could talk about this forever. Top 3. I think the Mexico
Oh yeah.
Mexico City, that is really good because you have this mix of European and South American stuff, which
fantastic.
is really good. And that is...
Oh, the one in Buenos Aires was really good as well.
In Buenos Aires. That, yeah, but that was expensive.
Yeah. So anyway, Mexico,
Good,
Mexico definitely. What else do we're gonna put Paris there, obviously.
Put Paris is good.
And
there's one in England which we've been to. What's that called again? Alphys?
Alphys. Oh, but that changed a lot.
It changed maybe. Okay.
So Paris, Mexico City, and one more.
One more.
Shall we put Copenhagen?
I think Copenhagen is really
Copenhagen. Good. So the one in Mexico is really good. The one in Paris, obviously. Well, there's 3 in Paris. They're all good. And the one in Copenhagen that is behind the.
And the one in Lisbon.
Yeah, that's 4. And as you understand, which ones do we want to visit? Well, any country.
And Helsinki.
Yeah. Okay. So lots of flea markets.
In Helsinki, we found a lot of good second-hand stores.
Yeah. And we want to visit every single flea market in every single city, in every single country that we would ever go to. So flea markets are definitely something that we adore doing. Great thing, you know, get to know culture, the culture of a country. You can see a lot of that through what people are selling on the stalls.
So maybe we should stop talking. No, I'm inspiring. We have to go to one of the second-hand stores.
Yep.
I know one in Norway as well.
Okay, so let's
stop.
Let's stop our let's finish up because we're going to go to the flea market now.
Let's go to the flea market.
It's going to be the last question.
That was a good. Thank you to Wolf. That was a good idea.
Yeah, thank you to Wolf. Now we're going to have to go on tour again to pay for all the stuff
in the land of the body of the artist.
Yeah, and we're going to have to go on tour now to pay for all the stuff that he's going to buy in the flea market we're going to.
Okay.
So, okay, we are going to finish now, but we'll be back with more Q&As very, very soon.
And a lot of shotkas.
And a lot of stuff. Bye.